Flosstube, it's Jen, Felicity Stitches, and I'm here with a Mania update. You know, honestly, I was a little concerned that it wasn't going to happen, but although it may not look manic, so to speak, I have done much more than I thought I was going to do at the start of the month. So let's get started, and I will tell you about my new starts. So the very first new start that I had for Maynia was Project Quarantine by Brenda Gervais, and I chose to do this one because I had everything I needed. So it was sort of a utilitarian choice in many respects, and also because I just love it, and I figured it was very timely. And so here's what the design looks like. So cute. I know I'm not the first person to start this, but I have really enjoyed it. I filmed a little tiny video of me stitching outside. I'm stitching on 36 count R&R vintage beeswax, and I love the color. It has a lot of slubs in it though, so it's not the easiest to stitch with. I'm trying a new light placement. I don't know if it's working out too well, but we shall see here. And all of this, the O here, that is all over 1, except for the actual letter itself, and it's meant to look like a little stitching hoop. Isn't it so cute? So it's not perfect. Over 1 on 36 count, full X's, full cross is not easy. And I'll show you here in this grass, this bottom one is full cross, the second one is full cross, and the third one, because the thread was so small, I only had enough room to do half cross. And I still have a couple more little over 1 pieces, but over 1 is not my favorite to do. It's just the payoff of it is so amazing once it's done. So, oops, I'm going the wrong way, sorry. So, I feel like since the payoff is so good, then I'm fogging up here, peeps. Since the payoff is so good, it really is worth the time that it takes to stitch. So that is, again, oh, let me show you the threads. Let me Nicole you. So pretty. I did, so we had to sub out a couple because, you know, they're having a hard time with the thread companies, the overdyers and stuff are having a hard time with getting their base threads and stuff and their dyes, so they're on back order a lot. So there are a couple of substitutions in here. The most notable one is this one here. This is Flatfish, and that is what I used to stitch my letters. Ooh, I gotta clean my, I gotta unfog myself here. Pardon me. Ooh. Okay, so that was my first start, and I liked it so much that I did the O probably in a day, like the first day that I started, and then I worked on it a little bit more, some more over 1, and then I did the H, and so it was like a week I stitched on this because I was just enjoying it so much. And for me, that's the thing, is when I start something new, sometimes the hard part for me is the actual start itself. Like that seems difficult to do. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I'm afraid of making a mistake, but I get very hesitant. I love kitting up. I love the excitement of a new start, but the actual start itself is hard for me to do. I don't know. If you're like that, leave me a comment. Let me know what you do to sort of move past it. Mania has been a good exercise in sort of getting over myself when it comes to starting new projects. Once I start them, I kind of fall in love with them and I want to keep stitching. So it's hard to then move to something else. I am impressed by people who keep a very regimented schedule of when they're going to work on their whips. Like, I'm going to work on this one Tuesday through Wednesday, and this is my Friday whip, and this is my weekend whip. And I understand the idea of having like a car whip or a work whip or a lunchtime whip. But when I start something, I just want to work on it. And then sometimes, usually something will happen, like I'll make a mistake and I'll have to take a bunch of it out. And that will sort of put a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth and I won't want to work on it for a little while. And it'll sort of go in timeout, and then I'll bring something else out and I'll work on that until something happens. And then I'll go back to what it was I was working on before. And so that's really more how I operate in terms of having some kind of a rotation, is I just stitch on what I feel like stitching on until I don't feel like stitching on it anymore. It's rocket science, right? So the next whip that I started is such a cute one. This is from Bendy Stitchy Designs, and this is You're Okay, I Guess. And it's this super cute fractal design, and the color palette is gorgeous. I'm stitching this on, this will make you laugh, I'm stitching this on 40 count Heartland, and this was originally half of my Berry Bowl sampler fabric. But I got really freaked out about, it's reading very green here, it's not that green, the fabric. I got freaked out. The thread itself, though, that is green. That is steamed broccoli. This lighting is sucky, if I may borrow a turn of phrase. Let's see, how's that? Oh, there we go. Give you a good close-up. This is steamed broccoli. And this is just that center portion. I'm doing all stitching in hand. You know, it's not perfect. One strand of thread over two. This is very tightly woven, so I was convinced, I keep going the wrong way, I was convinced that there had to have been a mistake, and that these 40 count fabrics from R&R were, they were mislabeled, because they could not be 40 count, because the weave just felt so tight to me. But I double checked, I counted, I measured, I stitched like 20 stitches, and over two, that's 40 strands of thread, and it maybe shrunk down to like a 42 count because of the dyeing process, but no, it was still right on. I think either my eyes are bad or it's been a while since I've stitched on 40 count. Maybe that's my problem. Here's the threads. Let me Nicole these for you. Isn't that just a luscious color palette? I love it. Good job, Michelle. Thank you for coming up with something so cute. So I only stitched on that for one day because I felt like I had spent too much time on my quarantine piece and I needed to make up some ground. So that was my second start. And then yesterday evening I started my berry bowl sampler. And the reason I waited and I didn't start it on the first with the Sal group, with the Sal gals, is because I had, like I said, chickened out and decided that I was going to stitch it all on one piece because I thought it would be easier for myself. And I just know, I love a challenge. I love the idea of a challenge. I love the idea of stitching it on two different pieces. But I just know myself, and right now I need to cut myself all the slack I possibly can and make life easier on me. So if stitching it on just one piece of fabric makes it easier and therefore more enjoyable, then that's what I need to do. So what I did was I chose Wren. This is a 40 count Picture This Plus Wren, and there's my little start. I started Nicole style. Nicole, you'd be so proud of me. I started in the bottom right hand corner. And I had like a mental, how do I do this? And then I sort of gave myself a talk and said, it's really the same as starting in the upper left hand corner, Jen. Just get over yourself. So that's what I did. And I made one substitution because I didn't have Weeks Dye Works mascara. I ended up using Classic Colorworks in Black Coffee, and I really like it. I think it turned out really well. There is, in those spaces, those are filled in with colored threads. I just haven't gotten to that point yet. But there's my bowl. I think it turned out really well. I stitched 1X at a time with one strand. Like I said, 40 count, 1/2, and this was using the sewing method. Not perfect, but close enough for government work. Really cute piece. I'm looking forward to getting some berries in that bowl, maybe today if I'm lucky. Again, here's what it looks like. And this is the bowl that I started with. And this is Berry Bowl Sampler. It is a collaboration between the Scarlet House and Heartstring Samplery. Where's my threads? Gotta show you my threads. So one of the things that you might notice today is that my threads look a little bit different, and that is because I have been organizing my threads, and I am using, aren't those pretty? Let's go this way. Ooh, even better. This is Blacksmith Blue, and I think it's one of my new favorite colors. I'm using a new product. It's not new, but it's new to me. It's called Annie's Keepers, and I was watching my friend Robin, who has a channel on Flosstube. She's relatively new to Flosstube, but not new to Instagram. We've been friends for many years, and her channel name is My Life's a Stitch. That's also her Instagram handle, and I highly recommend that you go and check her out, watch her, hang out with her. You will really like her, and you'll love what she stitches. She's a beautiful stitcher. And I was watching her videos and her threads just looked so pretty, and I really liked these. And I said, what in the world do you have your threads on? And she said, oh, those are Annie's Keepers, and you get them at thestitchingshop.com. They're not inexpensive, but I felt that they weren't too overly priced. I should keep these out so I can show you. So let me drop down a little bit. What's really cool about these is that they fit, they're plastic, and I being just a teeny tiny bit type A, like to have things, when I'm organizing, I like to have them really organized. So they come with little stickers that you can write on, so that you can write down what the color of the thread is. And I have nice handwriting. It's not that I don't think I have nice handwriting. I do have nice handwriting, but I just wanted everything to look uniform. My handwriting doesn't look the same all the time, and I wanted to go the extra step. So I ended up buying a different sticker and figured out a way to type them up online and print them out on the sticker and then put them on here. So I have done basically my entire thread collection, and if you see threads that are still on the tag, it's because those are extras. I had duplicates that I didn't even know I had duplicates of. So these are all my Weeks Dye Works threads. I don't have a ton of, I thought I had like this huge floss collection. I really don't. So I think my next goal, instead of trying to buy all the things, buy all the patterns, I think I'm gonna work on getting my stash of threads up to date. So like I would love to have a full set of Weeks and a full set of Gentle Arts and a full set of Classic Colorworks and a full set of Belle Soie. That would make me so happy. So I think what I might do, I know that Trisha of 3L Threads has a nest egg that she does where she'll send you pay, you know how everybody does like fabric of the month clubs and that sort of thing. Well, this is a nest egg, and it's kind of like a club where you spend a little bit of money and she will send you a certain number of threads from one of the specific dye makers. And I don't know if it's like four or 5 threads, but so every month you'll get to add to your collection, and maybe you won't need them all, and maybe I won't need them all, but I'll tell you what, it was really nice to have all of these cataloged for myself so that I could, these are all of my Gentle Arts, and then see, I would write on here Gentle Arts and then what the thread is. And they're not perfect, but they're pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie, I really like them. These are all my Classic Colorworks. And I had 3 Ye Old Gold. I had 4 black coffees, which is why that was the sensible switcheroo for Berry Bowl Sampler. Aren't they pretty? I mean, I could pet my threads all day long. So I have those. I also have this set, which I haven't, these are all of my color and cotton threads, which I bought this whole, I just bought whatever I thought was pretty, but I bought them all at StitchCon the very first year. And they're so beautiful. But I really like the tags. She puts a lot of effort in her tags. And so I was okay with leaving these on the tags for now. The cool thing about these is that they come with this system, and there are videos. If you search Annie's Keepers, you'll find other stitchers who've done videos on them. They're really, and they're just as good as anything I would do, so I'm not gonna send them to you. But they come with these little slotted things, and they have little hooks on them, so that what they do is they end up fitting into a file keeper box, and then you can store them. I think you're meant to, there are some that don't have these little built lips sort of put into them. They're just straight, and this is meant to be like your floss ring for a project. It's like a project slat or something. And then you can keep all your threads on here and you can see them all at once, which I think is really nice, but I just don't have a way to, how would I, this is just, takes up less space and stuff. It's easier to carry around. But what's cool about these is that they have a, can you hear that? They have a little groove. There, you can see that with my dark hair. They have a groove in them, and that groove fits up here into this groove. So you can either slide them in, and you don't have to hurt your fingernails to do it, but you can slide them in. Oh, there we go. Like that, and they won't come out. I'm pulling really hard. They won't come out, but it will slide, you know, back and forth. So you can keep them like this, or when you want to get one out, you just do a little twist and it comes right out. And they said that if you want to put it back in, you would just do the same thing. I haven't played with it enough to be any good at doing that, but you can see it's not difficult to put them into this at all. So my plan is to get, once I get more threads, then I will start using these instead of just a ring. Right now they're just in alphabetical order on the ring. So yeah, that's what I'm into right now. I love these things. I think, oh, and the other thing I love about them, I don't know, nobody's ever talked about this, okay, but it bugs me. When you pull your thread off of one of these cards, you know how you can hook your needle, you hook your needle up into one of these threads, right? And then you just pull on the one thread and it just comes out, and it doesn't disturb any of these other threads. It's lovely that way. Well, when you do it on one of these cards, for whatever reason, when it comes off the card, it's tightly curled. Kind of when you make, like when you use a pair of scissors to make ribbon curls with a ribbon, it just gets like a spiral curl in it. And that is not the most fun to stitch with. And so what I love about these Annie's Keepers is that when I pull the thread off of them, in the same way that I pull them off of this card, when I pull the thread off of these, I don't get that tight spiral twisting curl to my individual piece of thread. And I don't know if that's because I have loosened them up when I put them on here or what. But aren't they pretty? So yeah, that's my new thing. Annie's Keepers. I love them. Shipping was pretty quick. And they were super, super nice. Very easy to work with. And I will definitely be purchasing more as I need them, because I really, really have enjoyed having them. And then I'm compliant. I have a little doodah. I made this myself. So I try to have one of these on every on every floss ring. And then I also have, I've been trying to put the name, just in case I pick it up and I'm like, what is this for? I put the name of the project. I put the count of my linen. And I put who the pattern is by, because that way when I go to pick it up and do a video, then you know the same things that I know. Okay, what else was I going to tell you about? Plans. So next week or this weekend or something like that, I'm getting hot, people. The heater, there we go. The heater is like right, it's on this wall and it's right by my feet. And I wonder if that's why I get so hot when I come up here, is because the heater's on. I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is I have to find some black thread. I'm supposed to use size 8 pearl cotton for this, and all I have is size 12. Anybody who does wool work, can you tell me, am I okay if I use 12? I know it's smaller, but 12 is the only thing that I have in black. So, I mean, I think it should be okay, but I just want to know, can I use the size 12 pearl cotton, or do I have to get size 8? I could look at my tamari stuff. I might have some in there. I'll double check in there. Just let me know. Will work. 8 okay? Can 12 okay? Even though it calls for 8? And then I'd like to start Love Lives Here by Whimsical Edge Designs. This is the one that came with that cute little button. I've got to find some fabric for it. And I'll probably use some black coffee because I have a ton of that. And I might even be able to start that and finish it. That would be awesome, right? Same with this one. I bet I could start and finish that. I would just be going crazy pants with all the starting and finishing in Mania. Crazy pants. Okay, the next one is, the only other one I have that I feel like I want to start is Awake My Soul. This is a la-di-da pattern. You've all seen it. So pretty. Colors are beautiful. Funky little birds on the bottom there. Look at those birds. So I'm gonna stitch this on 40 count Meadow Rue, which is sort of a deep tan with, it looks pink to me. I don't know if it looks pink to anybody else, but it has a pinkish hue to me. Like a red brown, maybe. And then here are my, ooh, it's windy out. Here are my threads. For that. It's my little keeper. Pretty, huh? So I think that'll look really nice. And I think that is all for stitching. I want to give you, so you can just move on. If you don't want to hear me talk about something that's not related to stitching, I'm not even worried about it. Click next and have a very fine and lovely day. If you do want to hear some updates, I've got a couple for you. So I did, let's see, 2 weekends ago, last weekend, 2 weekends ago, it was really warm here. Because, you know, it was the end of April, beginning of May. And we had temperatures one weekend in the high 60s, low 70s. And I thought, now's the time. I'm gonna plant that garden. So my daughter helped me, my husband helped me, and we got the garden all planted up. It looked beautiful. I'll show you a picture. It looked beautiful, and it was a lot of work for a teeny tiny little garden. There's my beds all put together. That's my son. Oh, so I covered them up, and just to make sure that they were safe from frost. So it's kind of like a cold frame, some bricks, and what happened was the very next day I woke up and my garden had been destroyed, for lack of a better word, by some kind of animal. That's my little herb bed. Look at my little chives there. Just completely destroyed. So I don't know. There were no bulbs or anything like that. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was we have raccoons, we have rabbits, we have squirrels. Could have been any of those, could have been all of those. But they've been in the garden several times. I don't know if they're using it as a litter box or what. So Victor is working on making me basically an enormous cage to put the things that I want to plant in the cage. So it'll be, I think it's going to be 8 foot by 8 foot by 8. It's like a big 8-foot cube with chicken wire all the way around it, including on top, because I don't want the birds coming in and trying to eat my food. And the plan is that when and if the garden takes off and I want to do a bigger setup, I will do that with built-in fencing around it, and I will take that cage and I plan on using that for protecting my berry bushes, because I want elderberries, blueberries, blackberries, all the berries. I want berries, lots of berries. Like my berry bowl sampler, I want a cage full of berries. So the plan is that that will have, you know, multiple uses. Of course, the other update that happened is that this week it has been freezing cold because we have a clipper puller vortex thing coming through. So it's been snowing. And I woke up this morning and there was snow on the actual ground on May 9th. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know what's going on between the stupid virus and the terrifying murder hornets we're hearing about, and now it's snowing. I'm getting done. Just about done. Just about over it. So I covered everything up. Hopefully it survived. We'll find out, I guess, maybe next week. We'll see if something pops up. If not, I'll try replanting. I don't know what else to do. If you have any ideas, let me know. Hopefully we'll be able to make the cage. We have a old screen door we're gonna use, so it should be cute, and it'll be nice to sort of have everything protected and cozy in there. All right, guys, that's it. That's all I've got to say today. I hope that you have had a wonderful week, whether you're doing, you know, strict mania, monogamania, sania, doesn't matter. I hope you're enjoying your stitching, and your family and your friends. I hope you're safe and happy and healthy. So, you know, until next week, I hope that everything that you stitch with your hands shows your heart. I will talk to you later. Love you.